your boy Scotty the King, and you're watching yet another episode of The Bottom Line Is with a special guest, Rhegii Arteest. He's a brand new, well, is it okay to say mixtape artist?
We could go with that.
He's a brand new mixtape artist on Virgo Music Group, and his mixtape just came out on July the 5th, and it's called Real Talk Volume 1, and we're about to sit down and we're going to talk about, you know, just everything dealing with his music, like his background, his future plans, his present, everything. So, first of all, where did the name Real Talk come from for your mixtape?
Well, I had so many different titles at first. I don't even remember half of the names that I was using, so I couldn't even go back and tell you. But, it just came to me one day, like everything that I was writing at the time. It was a lot of stuff that didn't, you know, make the mixtape, and but just all of it together, it was just, you know, what it is on the mixtape, what I wrote for the mixtape. I just felt like it was real talk, like it was on some real shit. So I named it Real Talk Volume 1. I thought, you know, real talk instead of real shit, real talk would have been more, you know, suitable to spread, and so that's where that name came from.
You were once a strictly an R&B singer. What made you switch from R&B to rap, and have you abandoned your R&B roots, or do you still do them, or do you just mix them together?
I haven't recorded any of the R&B, but it is in store. It is coming. I still do my R&B, and you know, I mix it in sometimes, and it's, you know, a song on there on a mixtape with me singing. But what made me get into rap, you know, I just heard a song one day and it really made me feel inspired to just flow. The way it came off and the way that they was flowing on the beat, it just inspired me to flow. So, you know, that's what happened. I just got on it, and I had 2 sheets of computer paper, and I started from then, and it went from 2 sheets to 6, from 6 to 10, from 10 to a whole binder, and now books and books. So that's how it really, you know, started. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. It just fell in my lap pretty much. Let me see.
Before you went to VMG, you had a couple of other people that you were trying to work with or whatever, and like we always said, you've had struggles to get to where you are now, and you've been trying to put out your mixtape for the past, I don't know, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So can you speak about those experiences that you had before you made it to VMG or whatever, and just talk about what took so long with the mixtape coming out?
Well, years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago, it wasn't my first time in the studio, but it was my first time as an adult, mature, you know, my voice was more mature, and I started singing, you know, doing recordings when I did my first semester in college. And you know, I left school, so the person that I had to hook up with, which was A Miles at the time, you know, we kind of lost contact in the midst of everything. And so the mixtape that I was planning on working on at that time, it didn't go through because, you know, like I said, I lost contact with A Miles, and you know, I met a couple of other people, and you know, the work ethic, it wasn't what I was feeling. Everybody isn't going to be as hungry as you when you have things that you want to do. And when you're underneath people, or when you're working with people, or when people are doing you a favor, or you're doing other people a favor, you know, the work ethic is always wrong. There's never any hunger involved in a situation. And you're hungry, you have to go after what you have to go after. So, you know, working with them, it was pretty much, I don't want to say a waste of time, but it didn't work out. And so, you know, things fell through with that, and when I joined NWS, the original members, we all formed the group together, and you know, everybody again isn't going to always be as hungry as you are, and you know, we had problems with making sure that everybody was on the same page, and you know, a lot of opportunities flew out of the window then, and you know, after that I pretty much was left solo. I just was like, you know, I'm going to go take it, I'm going to do what I got to do what I want to do, and just go after this, you know. And I went solo, and when I went solo from the group, I wrote majority of my mixtape that summer, and as months passed and through the winter, I just started recording, and you know, I wanted to promote the mixtape. I wanted people to know that it was coming, so it took a year for the mixtape to come out, but it was a lot of pushbacks. It was a lot of things that didn't go right, and you know, that's pretty much what took me so long to do anything that I did. And you know, I met up with VMG, and you know, I rapped for Freddie and Black Mamba, and we, you know, they liked what they heard, and it's, you know, goes from there.
How is your working relationship with Freddie and VMG different from your previous work people?
You know, the fact that things, you know, a lot of opportunities have come by since I've been working with Freddie, and you know, that there just showed a lot, regardless if these opportunities are taken or not, or you know, if these opportunities are good enough or not. He's been sticking his neck out there, bringing me opportunity. So you know, he listens to whatever creative ideas. You know, that's the number one thing. I have a problem with not being able to express my creativity. You know, at a point in time, it was a problem there with the whole creativity thing with NWS, but we was able to find a way to make that work. And you know, other people that I've worked with, some people, they aren't open to other people's ideas and open to other people's creativity, and I'm the captain of my own ship when it comes down to my music. So I like to have full control of what I write, what I say, how I say it, and you know, how it sounds. And that's pretty much why our relationship is different, because he let me direct my own creative drive, and I have my own creative force behind my music and behind what I want to do.
What makes you, do you feel that you are your own artist and not a replica of any other artist? Like, do you think your style or your image or the music that you put out there is different from what other people that, I don't want to say basically on your level, different from other people that trying to make it like you are?
Yeah, I think I'm very different. I don't see any similarities between me and anybody else. I mean, I've heard some people that, you know, I like. It's a guy, I can't remember his name, but his song comes on the radio, and it's called Letter to My Son. I think I like his lyrical ability from what I heard in that song. I think that he's a good artist, but aside from him and a very small handful of other people, I haven't really heard anybody else that's worth listening to. And so let me not bite my tongue, because that's not what I do, but I don't really see anybody else fucking with me to just say that, you know, I can see myself being put in the same category as other people that are on my level. I'm Rhegii Arteest. You know, I don't sound like anybody else from here. I don't talk about what everybody else from here talks about. You know, we have two different messages. It's some people, I feel like they got it. I feel like they got the talent, and I feel like we could make it a good competitive sport as far as growing and building Mississippi. But, you know, I don't think I'm similar to anybody that's on my level.
Any future projects you plan on doing, like another mixtape or feature for writing for other artists or being about other people's projects? Any future things you plan on doing?
I'm working on 2 mixtapes, and you know, of course, I'm always open to do features, and I'm working with Charmaine for her debut mixtape, and we got a really good collabo going that me and Black Mamba and the King, you know, they all put their touches on the song, and you know, I'm just waiting to record it. And NWS, we're coming back, me, Lil Ryan, and we added a new addition to the group, and this is going to be the final switch. And a lot of you some of you that heard my mixtape, you heard Unleash the Dragon with my protege, Kid C, and she's now a part of NWS, and you know, for 15 years old, I think that she has a lot of great things to offer lyrically and musically, and you know, we're working on our mixtape. We don't have a title yet, but it's coming soon. Right now, we're just really doing a lot of writing, and you know, we have a lot of songs written already. Production is going to start on that real soon, and I'm also working on a second solo mixtape. But I got a plan with that, so you know, I'm not going to spill it all, but I am working on 2 mixtapes, and I am going to be working with Charmaine.
But any other final things you want to say before we end?
You know, regardless of what people try to say or do, you got to keep working for you. You got to keep pushing for you. Nobody else can steal your shine unless you let them steal your shine. And, you know, I'm not going to focus on any negativity. I think that negativity is what's holding Mississippi back on a musical level now, you know, as it is. And, you know, you just got to do you, and you just got to keep pushing for you, and you can't worry about anybody else. You got to let your success speak for itself, and you got to let your accomplishments speak for itself, and continue to excel. And everybody that has negative things to say, that want to hold you back with negativity, that want to try to get in your way, throw shade, pour salt, whatever you want to call it, they'll be far behind you when you're at the top of the mountain, and you won't be down there if you don't look down. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I want to leave everybody with. Rhegii Arteest, The Beat. Get the mixtape, Real Talk Volume 1. Sippin' Hitman, Lil Ryan, 8 Mile, Kid C. And, you know, it's a good mixtape. You'll enjoy it.
Well, that's it for me and Rhegii Arteest, and we out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2, motherfucking 1.